Goes on to say, secondly, I write to her. Because obviously we didn't get an answer on the first one, so she doesn't provide an answer again or continue to be funny. You know, we're really going to have to probably consider finalizing that block, because this is more dishonor. It's riding like the Trojan horse. It's pretending to be friendly. It's pretending to be nice. But you still read what's in the lines and in between the lines, and you see the old frame of the corrupt Barbara Winslow energies always still embedded within, because you can never fake what your spirit is. That will always be there within the lines. You can never fake that part away. No, almost no human is that good to really wash it fully away. They only believe they are, so they try to. Oh, God. The indignation. Understand what it is to serve God. We continue. Second, they're going to say, if you're looking to properly atone and make a good connection with your son, right? Weren't we thinking that that's what she would be doing if she's a good person? Right, with good proper instinct, but that's being worn away further and further within the course of this modern world today, the face of this world, sadly. Goes on to state, then, if so, but then, see, who exactly do you think you are then, or what position do you believe you're operating from here that you feel privileged, or that it's otherwise sensible for you, according to your mind, to essentially demand or insist that I don't publish some particular letter that you want to write to me? Right? Like, you're the one, who the hell do you think you are? The arrogance never ends. We continue. I go on to say, do you think this makes sense at this juncture to do? Why should anything that takes place here between us by this far out point into the future with this sickness, why should any of this now be subject to shielding of scrutiny? This is like when you're in court in litigation, because this is a substantive litigation in essence that's happening. This is a moral controversy between two parties. That's why we require third parties to become involved. Karmically, has to be. Guys, when you're in court and you're the defendant, or you're the criminal, or you're the prosecutor, or this is a civil case and there's two people suing each other, and you know, when it's like that, and normally guys, not even the lawyers are allowed to talk to each other side's parties. You fucking understand? You think you're entitled to approach the other side and say, oh, you know what? Never mind that judge up there who's overseeing everything. I'm telling you that I'm going to write you a private letter, and you'd better privately recognize it, and you can't reveal it. So I'm going to. That's just trying to dominate the situation for control. When you're not married to do that, you can't do that. This is now a controversy that's being morally, informally litigated, substantive litigation of essence that's happening, transpiring now between us, the human beings, within a figurative essential court that we're upholding here amongst ourselves here. Does this look like a move for honor, or a move for disrespecting the dignity of the human beings involved here, who are owed the dignity based on proper allocation of... You understand the framework? It's so beautifully encapsulated. All you need is the understanding mechanisms on your side to work, and you perceive it all. If you don't, well, you got to make more videos and explain it more. 49 of them weren't enough. Never ends. God help us. But so far, it's kind of like the point is both to understand that she might never accept the correct thing, but yet I always have to make it possible. The opportunity has to be there for it to be consistently available, with at least good due moderate pressure that she be pushed towards getting that fucking understanding. Okay? That's called you being the good faith man in the equation. Always do your job. Always push the blind ones towards understanding. Very important. So all these emails you keep seeing, why am I doing this? Why am I putting recordings of these email narrations onto these things? So that the broken woman of the equation can finally understand. It will never end. 2,000, 5,000 years, doesn't matter. It's the same problem. It will never end until it ends. So the question is posed as we continue, that you essentially feel or that it's otherwise sensible for you to demand or insist I don't publish some particular letter you want to write to me. I go on to state, Do you think this makes sense at this juncture to do? And the question is posed, why should anything that takes place between us at this point be subject to the shielding away from scrutiny, to shield scrutiny away? Good questions. You think you're going to get proper answers? Ha 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 ha. And it's like God through me mocking this whole situation. We'll post this and then we'll continue to laugh because you're still not going to get the fucking thing. What the hell planet you think we're on? Earth? This isn't Earth. Used to be, maybe. This is crazy circus planet by now. It's been for a while. Look around. We continue. Thirdly, the question is posed to her. Why are you once again, and this is the crazy thing, trying to state to me essentially that, again, you've tried this before, the same tactic again, failure tactics. Destined for failure, but they try them anyway. That this is just a big misunderstanding, with the implication that you're misunderstanding something, you're not understanding something. The insult, I understand everything. That's the deepest part of all. It's like, how do you believe you actually are with a truth that's higher than what I'm accessing? You're so fucking stupid.
Like my old neighbor.
Wow. Just God, it just fucking reeks from every fucking pore. I'm radiating the disgust from this. We continue. I further added, why are you doing this? Furthermore, in some attempt to further just simply try to evade or avoid responsibility. You know, the thing we're fucking allergic to at this point. This shit you're trying to do. Sickness programming. Demonic programming is all this is. Fucking hell. We continue. The question is then posed, why are you trying to control? It's how these types are. We know that about narcissists, cluster B types by extension. Why are you trying to control any aspect of this? The first rule of bowing, coming to the king, and admitting how wrong you are is showing, I give up complete control. I am absolutely without control, drive whatsoever, these women should say. That's the only fucking way. It's the only way to merit God's favor. This is a God test, you idiots. He's using us to teach you. You keep failing, we keep laughing. Do you think that what she's done here so far in that prior email, okay, that there really helps you? Does it really, realistically? No. Anyone with sensible, realistic sensibility is looking at this, goes like, yeah, like that email, this one here, yeah, up there, yeah, that doesn't help. We can see that, but anyone in the world could look at this. Now, I've done a lot of rounds in previous videos where I would take these email snippets, submit them to AI, and the AI would explain very correctly, amazingly, and everybody loves it because it's so, like, mind-blowingly, intuitively correct on these things. It's just wrong. It explains how it's wrong and insensible and dumb for her, someone in her position to write like this. So do I really have to keep doing this, to keep making these long AI conversations? It takes a lot of time and energy. Right, by now, since I've set such a template of AI, set such a precedent of like it taught you in so many ways, if you're a normal human brain, this is why the woman's wrong. This is why the woman's wrong. AI explains to you how the woman's wrong, and you still don't accept it. Because it's not about merit and righteousness with you, it's about control. That's all you want. It's a sick addiction, satanic programming, again and again and again. But ostensibly she already watched through most of these things, if not all of it by now, just about, hopefully, and yet no change. So yeah, she's showing by this, even showing me 1,000 times the same thing over and over, won't make me learn anything. Because I'm immune to seeing it that way. And that's how we learn. That one's very neurology deficient. We call that a personality disorder. There's diagnoses for these things. In sick understanding of this, sadly, sad understanding of these things, I continue to write out to her, sadly, as I punch in resentment, as I'm screaming in the inside of my soul. I write, I reserve the right You got to teach the broken ones the hard lesson forever to the end. That's it. There's nothing else for you idiots. I reserve the right for any witness to take a look at any letter of yours that's made to me, to take a look at any interaction that's made by you to me. Always enforce what's correct, but in a proper, balanced way. Which this whole email in context, I will say by the end, you'll see it does a fair job. Little better could have been done by the reasonable man in my position, who what? Honors and regards his dignity. Remember, mommy programming has opposite will. She wills that, no, Sonny should drop his dignity to follow blind mommy control. But that's against God. That's sick. She can't help but follow her instincts. She won't self-correct either. She needs someone to beat it out of her, in essence. She has no beaters around her to beat her. No one beat her. There's no hope then. Because the Bible said only the wise can be changed by rebuke. If the person you're dealing with is simple, they're not wise, rebuke doesn't work. So it says, eventually, when you see rebuke doesn't work, you have to stop rebuking them, and only they're destined to be cut off in silence completely forever. Because they're so stupid that they're not capable of learning from the rebuke. But they say the only thing is that you must beat them. But then they say, but you can't beat your parent, so then the only thing you have to do is you have to cut them off. And if dad was still alive, you would tell dad to beat mom. Back then, all dads would beat moms, and but we had an integrous society back then. No, I wonder why. Because punishment existed for any wrongdoers. The minute you make it wrong, quote unquote, by the modern societal frame, can't beat women, can't touch women. Look, I wasn't thinking like this before years ago. I had to self-realize this over time when I finally see through meta super grand equation and cross mega neural linking. Oh my God, it just clicks together. Oh shit, they were supposed to be beat all along. But they'll never tell you that. They don't say, yes, I love to be beat. That's part of the game, idiots. Men, change the frame. That's why Moshiach comes. The lawless one, they call him in some sort of prophecies here and there. Strip away the false frames that current laws impose, put the new laws, and then set the social frame into the new standing. The ultimate cement mark dryer, where then the cement dries on the new frame, and that's the perfect frame forever, not the sick frame we're in now. Thank God that God's using my mom against me for this, because every time she does something like this, I see more and more about where, because I'm like a mega AI mind myself, and I look which part of the equation needs the adjustment to make the whole grand equation perfectly balanced. That's been Moses' attempt to represent God's law here. He couldn't even do it perfectly. They say Moshiach will bring it better than Moses. I see the final equations. I see what Moses was missing. Do you fucking understand it? Moshe, Rabbeinu. But we knew all along, our people, that the Torah of Moshiach will be higher than the Torah of fucking the old way, which was the basis for Christianity and everything, the whole paradigm. I just see it all. But the irony is that your own mommy will never believe you, because she's in the sickness, you get it? So you have to overcome that to be the leader for the world. I'm not necessarily saying that literally, but I'm saying however it manifests and from whoever, that would naturally need to be the process. But funny enough, I'm certainly having my own version of it here, and simply time will tell how grand to the top it ends up going, because this is all I ever do every second. You have no idea how deeply I think. You see me, I'm just simply sitting there. You have no idea how fucking deep my thoughts are every second of every day. Women have no idea. There's this trend on social media. All the women are surprised. Like, wait, even any significant proportion of men ever are actually thinking about what? The Roman Empire every day? What? Like, mind blow for you women, right? Yeah, you're not even getting the fucking depth. Now, if you come to a stunning realization that we think about the Roman Empire almost every day, now you're not realizing how much more around it and beyond it and all in between the things that we were thinking about. You can't even imagine it. You will bow. And then the spirit of Lilith say, make us. And I won't help you to have me do that. And every woman kind of goes like, yes, that is a part of us that does resonate. Yes, I know. I have to admit it. Yeah, that's us. That's women. That's how God made us. but you chose the lower aspect of the feminine spectrum to reside at. That's the slider still. You had a choice, so you're still liable. And it's what we call the return of responsibility unto the soul of woman. We will not be taking responsibility over you anymore. But then through your punishment and atonement, then we can reconcile after that. That's the grand story of the human race. That's what all the prophets say. They say in the end it'll be correcting the final sin that affected Adam and Eve, and then we get to merit the original Garden of Eden here, really, on earth. 1,000 years, they say, it'll be peace on earth, no wars, all that. Trust me. When you get to a high level like me, you can perceive prophetically it's correct, but there's just going to be a lot of difficulties still that have to come first. We're not there yet now. And we're not super close either. Sadly, we proceed. As I was saying, I reserve the right for any witness to take a look at any letter of yours to me or any interaction that's made with me, particularly where any aspect of your letter or conduct becomes problematic. Of course, you don't have a magic clause to shield yourself from offense examination. If you use this, watch, because here's the game that she's trying to play. If she writes me the letter plainly has no substance. If anyone would read it, they would go, yeah, that's nonsense. John, I see how you're right, and this is another pitiful, terrible showing from your mother, and it's just, there's no merit. She loses. It's done. But then she has me locked under, she wants to have, this is a control addiction. She wants me locked under a protective measure. It's all control dreams. See, you can't tell anyone what was there. So I can't tell anyone what? That I'm actually right. So now she has me functionally back into isolation mode, where abuse continues to persist. In the form of what? Gaslighting, never-ending, perpetual, etc., etc. No, we're not going fucking backwards. If you did wrong, you have to pay, and you have to pay in front of fucking people. You fucking idiots, selfish idiots of the world. Puh! And of course this makes sense. Anyone listening, except Barbara, but everybody else in the world is obviously nodding like, yeah. Kind of like, honestly, just, yeah. We continue. Goes on to state, because from my perspective, virtually everything you are trying to do, funny, Barbara, this seems to be protective of primarily you, first of all. It's a funny and strange thing to behold someone who's supposedly repentant, trying to seek reconciliation while she's protective of herself. God is vomiting when he sees this. That will never work. That's against, every part of your cell wants to vomit its internal cellular fluid because it's so disgusting. You can't love your son simultaneously loving God while loving the protection of your own interests. It will never work. That's Satan worship. That's not loving life. You see the difference? I go on here to state that is the case, as it goes on to say, first of all, and continuing, furthermore, you only try to consider your own position and how to manipulate or otherwise control or exert influence over situations and people. We see plenty of that. Everybody has to admit, yep, it's true, right? Plain on the face of the matter, it's just very apparent that it's so. That is so, instead of what? Focusing on nurturing the actual relationship that you have with your son by doing what? By actually honoring the dignity of the person who you wronged. Blind sleeping people who remain blind and sleeping forever. Already, I go on to state, the way that you are writing this email to me that we've covered now above, this is once again insulting, as we saw my review and live reaction to the review of it on this recording here. It's insulting and it's offensive. Of course, it's not unreasonable to state so, because it's very arguably the case that it is indeed so, that some significant proportion of men, at least by their nature, would come to feel this way, standing in my shoes, receiving all this crap. Yeah, therefore that's what makes it wrong for Barbara to even have dared to issue what? This email is morally wrong to have written. See how God works now? So now you understand what right and wrong is, and then Moshe will perfectly condemn with severe punishments all moral wrongdoings. Because here's the interesting thing. On this planet, we have criminal courts, we have civil courts. But in civil court, they say we don't have a court for sour grapes. That means we do not have a court for moral transgressions. In Moshiach, this will be over. There will be no gaps anymore. If you looked at your neighbor wrong, you're in front of Moshiach, and you're going to pay a very severe penalty that you will physically experience pain over. Like, now you have a perfect world where there's 1,000 years of peace. Because when you know that's now true, now, magically, all human beings will start fucking loving one another. Everybody, actually, for the first time in human history, will truly fucking run out and be kumbaya the most. Like, I fucking love you. God, do I love you. Because you fucking have it. Why? Because they told you in the prophecies. Moshiach is fucking terror. Because it's the only way. They knew it from thousands of years ago. We continue. As I was stating already, the way you're writing this to me is once again insulting and offensive, of course. I proceed thereafter to state that. Now, I won't necessarily go ahead to, again, feed this email and all this response and all this stuff again. So many headaches now. You should have just learned by now, and if you didn't, I don't have to proceed anymore, because you've already shown yourself to be irreparably defective. It means no hope. No hope. I won't necessarily go ahead to feed this into AI or ChatGPT program, again, for what should properly be the benefit of showing you exactly why it is inconsiderate and apparent of further wrongdoing. And continuing, I add simply, you see, just plainly, if you have thoroughly reviewed absolutely every single minute of what I've posted in this whole playlist, including the AI conversations, then you simply ought to have taken a strong idea of already exactly what problems are present within even this email of yours here that's come through from you. This wrong thing in your email, this wrong cry that I've also now here again described, it should be apparent. Witnesses help us. Can I please have a witness that comes, adjudicates over this matter, and says, Barbara, you're so wrong, it disgusts me, and it'll disgust every person who will hear about this furthermore, and I'll personally make sure, and I'll help with the spreading of this if you don't really apologize, but probably you won't. And people like you should be ashamed of yourselves. And then furthermore, allow me to cut off full from my mom, because I can't do that myself until the witnesses confirm she's totally wrong. Like, I permit you to be free, like karmically. And then now I'm guiltless. Now God blesses me fully, and I can really have a protected life somewhere else. Okay, then the net rest of society comes in and replaces this faulty mommy, and they're like the net meta mommy, that net replacement nourishes me in the understanding that this mommy never nourished me properly, emotionally speaking. So we continue. That's Moshiach's law. You're going to have it so beautiful on this earth. Mwah. You have no idea. No idea. It'll be terrifying at first, and then so beautiful. Exactly how it's prophesied to be. How did they know is the amazing thing that really gets me. How did they know? They have it exactly right, almost. Continue. Goes on to state here. You would have a good idea of exactly what problems are present even within this email. They would be apparent to either me or to anyone in my position watching this, which, see, she should know. Who does she think she's writing to? That she believes this will work, that she believes this is fine. I'll tell you, I'm going to add this right now as a side analysis that's also very key to assert here. This is key. Pay attention. The mommy wants frame control again. So what's frame control look at? This is much of this, if not even most of it, possibly all of it, which is kind of scary and sad though, totally subconscious from her. She doesn't know why she acts out like this. She just acts out like this. So, but what's the end goal to her subconscious mechanism, the subconscious drive? There's no real thinking to it. It's just instinct. It goes like this. When she tells you that she wants to write you a letter that she doesn't want you to share with anybody else, her instinct pre-calculates something to the effect of this. Okay? She calculates that if you adhere to her terms, if you basically are someone that she comes up to, puts this demanding offer unilaterally, like, you will do this, you won't do this, do this, and I've controlled that. Yes. And then you, as the son, go, okay, yes. As soon as you did that, you, the one who's victimized and wronged, you lose, because you just consented away your invocation of your righteousness based on her wrongdoing, as should be persecuted and prosecuted properly. Once you agree to the terms of the criminal, that's a hair's width away from the thief who's brought in as a defendant in a criminal court telling the judge how he'd better manage that case, and telling the prosecutor how he's going to prosecute and in what manner. You see this insanity of it? Right, so there it's very obvious. But now it goes even deeper than that. Catch this. If she sees, first of all, if she sees that you submit to her frame, whatever it is, man, your job is to absolutely resist the frame for as long as she fails to be in line with yours. Because you represent God's frame in turn. See how the line and chain works? How God uses this whole universe in the meta programming. Perfect. It's perfect like this. Absolutely perfect. Just about. When she sees that you fold to her authority, quote unquote authority, she didn't have it until you gave it to her falsely. Now you've empowered her ego. So now it's like, oh great, now it doesn't matter what the fuck she sends you. She could send you scribble with a fucking smiley face and a tear coming out and a fucking farty face. Okay? And then you go, what the hell is this? It doesn't matter. She got you the moment you agreed to be under her dominion. It's a dominion thing. Remember, parents lose spiritual dominion over their kids the moment they become irresponsible with how they interact with kids. They're not more immune from consequence of offense and wrongdoing in consideration of your children because you're the parent. But remember, in Twisty World, narcissist thinks I am the most special one, that's why I could get away with the most against my sons and children. No, it's the opposite, as we know. Proper, healthy spirit understands, and healthy hearts understand. You have in a kind of way, yes, really, you have the most tiptoe pussyfooting around. You have the most obligation to be the most careful. Not the least. I could be the least careful. No, you have to be the most careful. And now in the world, the way it's unfolded, we see how true that is. We see regularly how grown kids now are feeling about their parents more and more. It's like, it becomes more apparent. It's like, yeah, no, we were under a weird cult before of misunderstanding. This is the truth. We see it now. Okay? So this is the thing. If you do accept, you're screwed because she feels in power. And what does conceding false power to the wrongdoer signal to them? This is why it's bad in the equation. Because it empowers her. It only motivates her neurons to be more willing and motivated and feel easy to continue doing another offense to you tomorrow and next week. That's even worse than the ones you've seen so far. The false hope, and no one should ever fall for this. It's not even a hope. It's such an illusion. It's so clear. It's like, don't even believe it ever. Is that when you concede to mommy's terms, that's when things will be okay. I'm not trying to be okay with you. I hate you. You're the one who's begging for me. Always tell that to your parents. It's very important. When they wronged you, never let them take control of the frame. God sees it and He's on your side. No false frames anymore. We continue. But there's a double-edged sword, you see. So if you consent to her terms, it could be anything. It could be, say that Hitler had 97 hairs on his mustaches. It doesn't fucking matter. If you say yes to anything she's doing, her smile at the end, look, here's how crazy this is. I remember That's it. I remember fucking years ago, I'm standing out with this particular ex-girlfriend I had at the time. I remember her, Alex. We all know the story about that. Those of us who are close to me. Now, while we were still together there, we were in Jersey with my friends. I'm showing her off to my friends, okay? Now, while we're standing there, this is pre-coma, okay? This is when I was my old, and yeah, honestly, old and stupider self. Truly. Funny, right? I'm standing there, we're hanging out. She's talking to some of my friends to get to know them a little bit. They're getting to know her a little bit. And now she has a one-on-one conversation with my friend. It's weird, and it's almost gotten to the point where I'm just standing around almost like a third wheel. Super strange. So I'm almost like, this is fucking a little weird. I saw a lot of signs from her already that she was meant to be just cast away. But she's not going to cast herself away. She's going to see how much abuse you will put up with, and so that she can put more abuse. You see, and then call you the bad one. It's always sick like this. There's more to it in proper nuance, but overly simplified. That's the gist I'm presenting for this narrative. But we continue. Anyway, what's relevant is what's coming up here. I dropped something came out of my pocket, I dropped it, whatever, like my own thing, right? Whatever it was. I mean, relatively insignificant. She kind of glances over, looks at it. Now, her business was with the conversation she was enjoying. She simply looks over, looks at me, looks down. Mind you, I was with her for about a year plus, maybe a year and a half, something like this by that point, or maybe close to 2 years even, something like this. I never heard anything like this from her in my whole life, okay? As soon as that happened, she looked over, she looked at me, looked down on the ground, saw whatever thing was dropped, changed her demeanor instantly, like an instinct came over. You could see it wash over her eyes. It's just auto-programming. It's not conscious, I love you and we're with God. No, it's reflex. We're not reflex. That's all you animals are out here. I'm going to fucking fix it. Then it's going to be done. You couldn't help yourself. Someone outside of you had to make it help you. Get it? We're going to continue. She looks at me, points a finger at me, and with a changed, twisted tone I never heard out of this girl's mouth, she looked at me, she was like, pick that up. I was like, my fucking brain was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is that? Never met that person in my life. And furthermore, that you act like that in front of my friends, you treat me worse. These are my friends. This is my whole fucking kingdom that I just showed you to, and you're gonna act like that? All right. That was good, because when I remember that showed me the first indication, like, yeah, she never really was quite the same with me after that. Long story, but good riddance. But mind you, I'm looking down. Now, I was going to pick that up anyway, you see? Because it's my thing, and I'm going to pick it back up. But when she looks over and just enters that one in, yeah, pick that up, yeah. Guys, if you do what you were going to do anyway, now her injection into your frame is an insult to you, because that's an offense. It's domination over you. Do you accept domination from women? No. But in order to assert that you're not going to be dominated by this person, you have to do what? Something that already is an inconvenience, which is exit what you're already going to do, which is the proper and only thing for you to do. You should pick up your own thing that you dropped. You see? So, exactly. This is how women operate. They inject a program so that it's the type of program where no matter which one you choose, something got shaved off somewhere. Holy God. Okay, and not every girl is good at it. Some girls are better at it over others. And also, cluster B psychopathic men are scarily good at this as well. Because it's their instinct, because they've had to rely, so to speak, on it to survive in their way, the way that they're programmed to interact with the soul world. Okay? They don't understand honoring you. They want to, their whole thing is to jam you between a rock and a hard place, so you're always jammed. You have to always be cornered by insolvable situations that they put you in. That's how they are, in their mind frame, dominating a situation. Sick shit. They don't understand connections with God. You continue. So, now some people do better than others. In that situation, she didn't do the best one, but also I dropped the ball. I wasn't yet smart enough even then. I should have been. I almost hesitated to erupt, but back then I still had a little bit too much Jesus yin programming in myself, which is, you know, but also that was brainwashed into me by my own mother. So of course it's just go with it, just accept it. When someone does something wrong, just turn it, like nonsense, contextually terrible shit. So I just simply, I looked at her, I like rolled my eyes a little bit to just be like what the fuck? And then I went down and picked it up. Doesn't matter. Even though I did the eye roll like what the fuck is this stupid shit? Like whatever. But like I'm gonna pick up my own shit. Doesn't matter. Now that you picked up your own shit the way you wanted to anyway, you're now a loser. You get it? When I saw her consequential energy change, she felt like she was like, that's the feed. That's the feed. She's empowered now, you get it? In her mind frame, you're her slave. But not even an exalted slave like she respects you. The respect is lowered, but some low transit. These people can't help themselves, anyone who's programmed like this. I remember that for a long time, and it fundamentally altered how I deal with people now, and women especially. After that, I was like, yeah? Okay. I'm never going to let that fucking happen again. And that is going to be, until Moshiach is fully implemented, that's only going to hurt women. Really, in the meta calculation. You people do this yourselves. But it's good because I got to learn really what the sickness is. And then after the coma, I really got to see really I see everything, hyper clarity. So we continue. I go on to state. This is what the mom, it's a similar instinct somewhat that she's doing here. So she says, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, if you accept, you're mama boy. So actually in the grand frame you lose, because you're not ever going to fucking properly align with God and win when you're trapped in a narcissistic mother's false frame. Never consent to it. Remember, even bad contracts made by evil people, they still need what? Your consent. Very important. So, you lose if you consent, but here's the other, because the trap needs two sides to be the trap, both, you see? The other side that's the trap is this. If you don't consent, and if you make the showing of being like, what? I don't agree to that, bah. Well, as we learned in, let's say, you know, old sovereign citizen stuff and other esoteric stuff, I'll just say that, but it's very true. Rejection flat out is also dishonor. So now what, even if it's merited within the frame, and honestly kind of is, it still doesn't matter. She has a new false frame that she gets to continue spinning a false weaved web, like a bad spider. Sickness addiction, these types. Why? Because now what frame does she get to carry? It becomes, I kindly asked my son to nicely understand that I want to tell him the letter, which is nice, so honest letter. He rejected it. Oh, see how bad he is? Oh, she's got substrate now for more spin zone. Never give them material to make the spin, yet never consent. So you see how it's an impossible task? They're designed that way because women get their sense of security from having containment, but then because of the modern world, they flipped it and they conflated with confusion their own containment with them trying to contain you. Wrong order. And this is where the Lilith energy and programming emerges. This is the inversion programming. Eve satanified is Lilith. Everything inverted is the opposite, etc., etc.
Our picture of the empowered woman is a man. You watch for so many years women being in a position where they don't have any power over the course of their own lives, right? And they're watching men are the ones that have the power over their own lives, and so we want what men have. So we watch the 1960s come into play, and we know all the
but by false conflation.
But it also, it made it so that women were like, oh, I want to be a man. So what you've got is this gaslight where you have a movement where the surface of that movement is women empowerment, but really it's we can be men. So now you've got all these masculine protectors in women nowadays. Both genders are suffering from this massively. Just be aware, I have to kind of warn you in advance, a lot of the information that I'm going to throw at you in this video you're not going to like and therefore are probably going to try to resist. What I'm about to tell you is an element of female biology that does not need to be fixed for a woman, physically. Attraction is about matching up with a person who will protect you, produce healthy offspring, and provide for you and those offspring.
Okay, so first, false alignment, autistic-like conflation on the part of some women is that very unhealthily, by the way. Say you're a mother of your biological children, of sons, some part of your programming, because something is like not fully developed properly, whatever, you confuse your mother relationship with the woman with confusing your own male son, who's your son, with as if he is just any man of the world. You kind of get what I'm saying? That's not correct. A nuanced woman knows that, well, this is a son, so son gets special son treatment, and son is always beautiful and best. But if that's a man, then it turns on other relation programmings that are different than mother-son and woman-man, which is more antagonistic if it's just general woman, general man. That's number one. Continuing.
The man is your ticket to survival. No matter how much the modern world has changed, and no matter how much feminists absolutely hate looking at that truth, it's still the truth for women today on a physical, biological level.
And a spiritual level. Also extremely important. It's not even only those. You don't even have hope spiritually, because you don't have God connection without stably being contained within our framework. Now we covered already, and I'm looking for the Teal Swan one that covers this, especially containment. But you can't both need containment, which is a yin element, and try to resist containment when it's being given to you. This is self-killing, self-hatred, self-deletion on the part of women, broken women.
A vulnerable male leaves a woman in the position to feel like she has to do it all herself and fend for herself. This means that a male who lacks masculinity, or those masculine traits which a woman needs in a relationship in order to feel good, she ultimately feels alone, or at best, with a nice sidekick or servant.
See that? So when you confuse your son as being a man who owes you something different, you're going to start penalizing your male children. And that's sick. If you're a mom, you never penalize your male children. You only penalize your spouses, your husbands, in a kind of way. And then even not really so much there, but definitely more there than your own sons when you're the mom. But when you have that line of the DNA encoding matrix broken, the conflation kicks in and you're confused. Secondly, another conflation that happens with women is that because of this, what she's described here, you end up exchanging falsely the passivity of yin with the anxiety of yin, which manifests as yang because it's the polar energy opposite, because you're striving to get security and containment, which is the very thing that you need to relax into by passivity. Why? Because the real truth of life is the Chinese finger trap. You always get the opposite result of the thing that you're striving for superficially to achieve. If the harder you're pulling out of the Chinese finger trap, the more tight in you're going to be. And the more you relax, the more easy it is to release. You must understand that. So that's the frame that God through man as well has imposed upon you. There's your containment. We're telling you what it is. You must close your eyes and trust in the process. There's nothing else here for you. God will offer nothing else to mankind except this. He tells us men to do the same, you see. You understand how this works? And when we get good enough at it, we expect that our women will get good enough at it as well. Hurry up. Relax into it. Which means don't resist, don't try, don't strive, don't manipulate, don't exert. Literally, and I've said this many times before, literally the best thing you can do is literally fucking do nothing and smile. You are literally the most beautiful blessing to every molecule around you. It gains enhancement because of you. You beautify the world when you relax, not when you Get excited. Fucking reverso. I'm also going to share furthermore something that just came up on this particular short, and it's also relevant not strictly to the topic that's being discussed within this particular one, but to the related subject that's been brought up within other videos regarding the real backstory that's relevant 20 years ago, having its foundation and basis regarding the mother and her boyfriend. Consider this. Teal Swan is featured here, where she says initially, I'm going to teach. She goes on to state
something sad about the male race. Men have a behavioral strategy that is a holdover from the cave days, and it looks like conquest. Conquest is the male shadow. It's, I'm going to behave in whatever way I need to behave to get exactly what I want out of this woman.
Okay. So when you have males like this, and she goes on furthermore to state, as it says,
it's not really who I am. And I have some bad news. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm saying you're going to have to really have discernment, and I realize.
See that already. Now, why is she saying this? Okay. This is what I've been trying to illustrate for close to 20 years. That she, perhaps without fully consciously realizing it, and maybe only subconsciously at best realizing it, or possibly being so naive that it doesn't register, she doesn't allow herself to have this fully registered within her at all. It goes on to be the case that you have a man there who bypassed what the moral requirements of the situation were regarding how he's to behave, how he's to treat other people, who he is to ingratiate himself with. He broke the mammalian biology, the exalted God-based biology and rule and moral framework, yeah, in order to sabotage it, to just selfishly go and say, I don't give a fuck and I'll get what I want and I don't care, okay? Only if you're twisted, woman, there's a very superficial level of that just kind of catches you at a superficial level. But then if they maintain the false hook, and it only usually works on broken women, never works on healthy women. See the difference? That's another aspect as to how we read correctly, whether you yourself have the healthy, correct programming or the false programming. If you let your kids become neglected and abused and mistreated by you, and especially the people in your life that you invited, and they wouldn't be there but for your permitting them to be, this is covered within the AI conversation that's already, the first part of which has already been featured on this channel in this playlist, and further parts I intend to should be put on soon, I believe. This is that monster. That I don't believe in God. I do whatever I want. Fuck anybody, and I just do whatever I want. And now I expected, what? I'm right. Everybody, same shit. He passed his narcissism onto her that she got worse after she met him. You continue.
When you're starving to death for that closeness, it's very hard to use discernment.
And all Mom had to do is use discernment, which is in essence an extension of what? Trust in God. That you should stop, look, and then do the correct morally obligated thing. No. She says, all I know is that I want someone to pay the bills today, so I'm fine with whatever. Nope. 20 years later, everything around you is breaking down, and everybody's fucking paying the price in ways you never would have dreamed of. But I dreamed of it. Because men know. Women are blind, but men can see. That's the only fucking truth of reality.
We're starving to death. No water for days. And I was to poison this water and be like,
Because they want containment. But they're willing to do immoral or morally inconsiderate or even neglect. They magically brainwash themselves. Now it's a new rule, new life. What? I don't know. Down is up.
Really hard to say no to that, right? But you're going to have to use your discernment.
She's telling you that's not allowed. You don't get to do that. It's not okay. You have to use discernment. You can never make yourself magically forget.
To drink the poisoned water is a void. It needs you badly. It's literally one of the most painful experiences you can ever have, going into that consciously.
What she's telling you is always follow exalted man's frame, not false man. Only once you do that, false men, because they won't be encouraged anymore by the blind, naive, oh, it just seems fine for the moment kind of acceptances, all false men will have to be withered away, like a pruning by Moshiach law. There's nothing else for this world. Everything is now so perfectly clear, you can't believe it.
Sitting with the emotions of that absolute, desperate, starved powerlessness. But if you sit in that void long...
Yeah, because God says, I don't care what your puny brains think, human brains, man or woman, doesn't matter. From up here, you're all the same. You're all yin to me. You would all better fucking relax into what I, God, am doing, you see? And if we know how to relax into God when we're yang, but we know how to be yin with respect to God, you too had better be damn yin with everything else around you. God says you trust in the process, He will take care of you. He has to. It's an eternal promise, you see. You keep forgetting that part. But that's why women and people in general who are not connected to God are the ones who stray into the dysfunctional frames.
Now, if it goes away, then you're not a match to other people with the void. And you can believe that the conquest men, they have a void. I'm going to teach
you. See, everything makes sense if you understand the framework. Upregulate your GABA B receptors, and we'll all be up there together. And I can't seem to find the specific containment one. She had a great one about containment. A short that was like, women want containment. It's all you're looking for, and that's the whole thing. All right, take my word for it. That's what she said. I love pointing to other experts. She's very high in the field too. I have a lot of respect for her. Some of the best ones are actually women. And it's funny because one of the prophecies actually state that, you might think it's ironic that I'm stating this, but actually it's not. What I'm telling you is that women need to be humbled so that they can be what? Exalted. They say at the end, when Moshiach is finally fully in place, women will be higher than men. Because do you believe? I'll admit out loud, yeah, no problem, I love it. The most enlightened speakers I see on YouTube when I hunt around with my super GABA B upregulated frames, I could detect it clearly, it's women. Men, most of the men are high up there, and then there's a smaller proportion of women that are even higher than the men. It humbles me to this day. When you truly relax into it, then God floats you up like oil floats in water and like helium floats to the top of the sky. You relax into that ascension. You can't strive for containment. Just know that God is there, and God through man is there even better. You relax. Now you're so high, like your own GABA B will actually activate higher than man's GABA B could. It's true. It just wasn't possible for this whole time because of the limiting pre-circumstances that have been placed in this whole time. You understand? We understand what this is. We're trying to fix it all. You need to relax and trust in the process. Now, resuming this email here, I continue to state in the following paragraphs. Trying now, Barbara, to frame that all of this here is just some misunderstanding that is an insult to someone at my level. It's such a flaming insult. See me at my level and then try to talk like this to me. It's like, lady, you're not on the same fucking, not even on the same planet. You're not even the same solar system as this guy. How the hell do you think you can even dream to move on with these words? Get out of here. It's absolutely off, out of line. Continuing, I write to her, for in fact, yeah, that ship there, that's long sailed. You see, you don't just telegraph the level of insane indignation and disrespect every day that you have done so with me for a year and a half straight without being actually genuinely, insanely reckless and outright ill-willed, not misunderstanding, not simple oversight, negligent, I don't know, no bad intentions. Cut it right there. Sick. You failed the test, by the way, of course. So you failed there, and obviously anyone can see plainly you're not of the proper repentant spirit. You're still trying to evade, deflect, still trying to dodge, still trying to exert energy. Ha 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 ha. What the hell are you bothering for? Trying to dream that something should be different than the way it is? That's the first thing that makes you lose. Losers. You continue. I go on to say, no misunderstanding. I make it clear as day. You are wrong. You have corrupted. You are essentially evil or otherwise wrong besides that, and you have bad character and or evil and wrong personality traits. You have the wrong nature of the soul and of the heart. That is how I see it. And given everything I've gone through that you put me through, this statement of mine here, this holding, is no unreasonable holding on my part. Insisting that your communications be shielded from scrutiny is also an insult to me. You lose when you even try this. To even offer such a thing, to suggest it even. Because that is failing to honor the King God. You understand? Because you have failed to either endear yourself to the one in my position, or also to, do the correct thing, whatever I had in mind there to write. Yeah, you get it. You continue. I go on to say to her, all this from you, this is all just some attempt by you for you to try to gain some kind of leverage, control, or manipulation of some conceivable kind. You're not doing this really for nothing, or because you're purely so sorry because you realize how wrong you are, because all of that is completely absent from that email. There's no indication that you admit you're wrong. You're trying to reframe it, that it's a misunderstanding. Yeah, you're not wrong because I've misunderstood, right? Get the fuck out of here. We continue. Sick. May witness behold all this, assess it, and please give the corresponding feedback. Every turn of the story that the mother was wrong may be reinforced. Yeah, he's right, stupid bitch. Not really those words, but the essence has to be that. The essence needs to carry that in the implication. So I made sure to get a woman involved this time. Anthony was a guy. He has a guy mind to review. We got that, but now it has to be for a second witness. It has to be a woman's mind to review the woman's problems. There's nowhere else to hide. There's no trying to dominate over a man, and you're not going to win if you resist God through man or man himself. Sick. We continue. Where this or so is a continuous state that you try to have things be such that you try to have it so that these things are on your terms somehow. That's how you need it to be because of your addiction. Frame ego addiction. We continue. Now thereafter, I go on to state that despite the unreasonability of the offer, you have to reject the ridiculousness of the offer, and yet we can't resist the overt thing. So remember, men, and women too, actually, the truest path to success, for both men and women, is to be neutral. You can't overly resist, yet you can't overly concede in the other way. So mark and look closely at what's being said hereafter. I go on to state, now, all that being said above, I go on to state, if you do leave me any letter marked as or otherwise reasonably apparently that's private and confidential to me, well then I'm telling you, I'm informing you that while I will honor the strict sense of privacy of that letter, and that I will not actually feature the direct letter and the direct contents of that letter in any publicized form and videos like that, not directly, I will, see, offer necessitates counteroffer. Always be the high creditor in life, men, but also women too. See, everybody wins when everyone's responsible. We continue. I go on to state to her, I will, however, given the context of this whole situation, naturally, and of course, remember, always defend your rights. Why would I waive them? I will mention the letter and its general nature and effect and general contents by kind of summary, by making general summaries of any portions that may involve any arguably present or debatable issue or offense, or any part that makes a problem because you've offended me through something more that you've written, but you want to shield the offense or the occurrence of it. No way. Don't be dumb. Remember, by the end of it, the goal is you neither leave the mother with the validation that, my son has consented to me being the god king pharaoh goddess again. No. And also, my son didn't give me enough to make him like I can convincingly scream that, see how bad he is, see how wrong he is. So you don't give her that, and you don't give her the first. So when you have nothing, when you give the wrong evil people nothing, they don't know what to do. So that's what they do. They stop responding to you for long periods of time. See, because they don't know what the fuck to do, because their game was never to reconcile with you, because they're not loving people. They're not the loving type of people. They're narcissists from the beginning until the end. We continue. You need the formula on how to win, men and women. I continue to explain to furthermore. I say, that means, to spell it out further, if any parts occur as offensive to me from that letter, anything you write, you now here understand the counteroffer. What you're going to do? Dishonor me and reject? Yeah, because that's what women have to do. I mean, from their lower nature, they're fine dishonoring. It's disgusting for a man to dishonor because it's worse for his nature. See? When a woman's broken, It's worse. It's worse, and you get the worse. We continue. That means if any parts occurs offensive to me, you here understand that you waive any protection from scrutiny, and that I will make general remarks at the very least, but general remarks. I won't feature a direct letter, but I'll simply talk about it, and you'll have to take my word for it that the gist of the letter and the conclusions I make about it are true. But you won't get to inspect the letter yourselves to verify because Barbara doesn't want you to believe me. See? Sickness of woman. We continue. I go on to state that I will make general remarks and summaries covering what you're doing. That's it. Now I place this. Now my card's on top. You can never win with man who's on top of his shit. It won't work. We continue. Thus, with wisdom now, I say that this game that you're trying to do, this framing, I say to her, proper advice too. What a man. Highly responsible. This is not the optimal route and way to go for you. I think that's it. It means don't even try this whole email that she wrote up here. Don't even try this frame. I'm telling you, this whole framework is rejectable because it's contemptible. It's dishonorable. That's why you're guilty again. What? Women don't? Because women don't. See, women resist being guilty, but not by propriety. They resist guilty by form or semblance. They have no problem actually being guilty as long as they don't look guilty. A man would rather look guilty without actually being guilty. There's the inversion. There's the inversion. You understand all of reality now. Oh my God. Can you get it yet? Or are you people still delusional? We continue. It will all end. All opposites will conflate and there'll be one Moshiach way. The permanent address of your lives forever. It all makes sense to me now. Every day, every week that goes, it's more and more closer to the sense that, oh my God, only one God and only one greatness. We continue. I explained to the broken woman, this is not the optimal route and way to go, as if she needs a man to explain this to her. Yeah, because the man she chose in her life isn't involved sufficiently in a healthy way to explain anything to her as to what's right and wrong. He tries to flip her so that she's doing what's actually wrong in the objective God view. But she wants to link to his containment frame, the false one. But she bypasses God. The eldest male in your family, by blood, is your proper leader. Not the false boyfriend you never married, but you want to link to him over your son. You'll be cursed forever by God. Why? It's so obvious how foolish you people are. In so many ways. We continue. I make it extremely apparent. I say with wisdom, I say this is not the optimal way to go. Yeah. I'm continuing. 4, I explain. For reconciliation to be possible, repeating myself again, to the broken baby, stupid woman brain baby again, you need to really step up and take ownership, extreme ownership of the full fault and guilt that you chose because you're the mother. And your son can't be responsible for the parent's offense. Just only sadly, your guilt karmically tend to pass to us only when you're foolish to pass responsibility. But when you do that, you'll suffer the most, and then there's still some opportunity for redemption on the part of the son. But you stepped into even worse by failing to take the debt yourself, to cancel it, to make tshuva. So you cancel the sin so that no one has sinned. Either no one has sinned or both of us have sinned. You cannot win the push game of the karmic substantive energies. There's no winning that game. You are so blind to the ways of Yah, of God. In Polish, Yahzai, but Yahweh is God. Yod He Vav He. There's no other way. I go on to state, you offend your grown son, you pay. There is no other formula under God. And naturally that occurred to me, and it happens to me in words here too. Me think the same. Look at that. You continue. Goes on to state, if you want to essentially excuse yourself somehow, you want to play that game instead of genuine tshuva by admitting you were wrong, you want to play the excusal and dodging game, then you would admit that either any human witness or any AI program should be able to assess objectively whether that which is issuing from you does show to be an indication of a true merit or defensibility on your part, such as to properly excuse you. Remember, I mentioned earlier, that's not what these women are interested in. They want containment and security, even when the thing they're going for is insecure. So here's the irony. Because women are also delusional a lot of the time, sadly, but it's part of the wiring too. It just is. their instinct as to which direction to lean into to carry a thing will very often be, especially the way the world is now. Now it says worse than ever. While you think you're more insightful than ever, it's really the flippo. It's worse than ever. Ultimate paradoxes and contradictions. The way you instinctively lean will always be the bad way, almost, while you believe it's the proper way. They have a hadith about the Dajjal, the bad guy, the supposed Antichrist that comes. And I explained in a previous video how the Antichrist and the Messiah are actually one and the same. Moshiach and Antichrist are the same person that they prophesy about. They're two aspects of the same one human being. Both sets of prophecies are true about the same one person. It's not two people. Very funny stuff. Very few people realize this. This is high level stuff. We continue. Alright, they said that about this Dajjal, which is the Islamic version of the Antichrist story, sort of, their own prophecies, they're a little distinct though. Funny stuff. They say he's not going to have, his left eye will have some kind of transitory defect, and other things too. We'll continue. They say that, you know, when he comes up and shows something, but it's their own take on it, when he shows you fire and water, and you want to avoid the fire, run to the water, we're telling you, go to the one that looks like it's fire, that one will turn out to be water. Go to the one that looks like water, avoid that one because that's actually the fire. It's all opposite. So imagine, if they illustrate a concept of opposites to this extent, oh, I'm telling you, the duality that's illustrated there represents the duality across the genders. Men are not the one who do this, unless you're really the lower kind of man that was sort of hinted at a little earlier by Teal Swan, because you're really broken, and you do need discernment. But if a man in your life is directing you to do something along the lines of discernment, you discern and fucking obey and listen. So it's so fun. The more I think about it, the more I run my processors, I'm like, and you really can't see how blind you people are. It's so much light. We continue. I state furthermore, if so, if you would be expecting such a thing for witnesses to naturally be looking for that what you're saying is valid, then I go on to say opting for the invocation of privacy actually and for confidentiality is insulting and counterproductive and puzzling and evil in essence. That's the only thing man's really concerned about. Is it right or is it wrong? We continue. Given your understanding of this here being made apparent, then proceed however you want. Okay. Beyond this, I don't give a shit. Leave me a letter. Don't give me a letter. See, she wants to test to see whether I'm dependent on her letters, like the proverbial tit to suck on. No, please give me the letters. I want them. I don't give a shit. You're fucking evil. No one wants anything from you. Burn in hell if you don't beg for life. Nothing else matters under man's law, under God. Nothing else. Yin and yang. Learn your roles and submit. Proceed however you want along these lines of understanding that are here established. You are no closer, you're no closer to anything beneficial for you than you were. That should say than you were before you wrote that fucking weird email to me there. In fact, you're further away, which was made plain, I think, too. Not an unreasonable position. Therefore, she's guilty for even having borne the risk of allowing such a thing. Where the risk manifested again. No surprise. See how stupid these women are? The broken ones. Look, Barbara, there's another one. There she is, that Barbara. I then continue to write. To note, you promised that you were going to be finished with all the videos by a period of time that was over a week ago from now. What happened? You hear mention none of this. You just conveniently forgotten about this? Yeah, people should be seeing everything you're doing. I'm allergic to you by this point. We continue. Can you see and understand how this is tremendously all your fault? When do you get it? Everybody else sees it. Barbara, find me one human being who beholds this whole playlist and all your letters, because you want to show them those letters too. Don't care what the hell you show them. And then have that person come and sit with us and go, based on everything I've seen from both sides, I find that John is wrong about any aspect ever. If you could do that, I'd fucking eat my own fucking arm off my fucking body. Because that's how fucking impossible it is to do this. People have no clue. Blind leading the blind. What the hell? Hopeless. So I pose the question, can you see and understand this at all? Or as it continues to say, are you going to continue to insist just a misunderstanding? Kill us. Well, please don't, but I love life. I resent the aspects of life that are like this shit. Separate ourselves from it. Otherwise, we drown ourselves in being merged with that, so that's where people get depression. That's where people want to kill themselves. Very sad. Because they don't know how to cut off from the sources of the crap. It becomes so hidden in the enmeshment that it becomes subconscious. They can't even see it and find it for what it is. It's hiding behind the grass. The blades of grass that are sprouted all throughout their own minds. Separate yourselves, but identify it. You have any idea how happy I am in my fucking life? More happy than ever before. You cannot imagine. It's superhuman the amount of joy I have in my life. It's not normal. I have abnormal amounts of power and joy and excitement every day I wake up and go to sleep. I'm so alive with vitality, you have no idea. You cannot imagine. But I only get upset like this to show you within these videos, you're bad, because I'm channeling how bad you are. When I turn my attention away from the evil, I regain with God fully. And now you can't understand how different my demeanor is from these videos versus when I push off. I'm like so different because I'm away from the harmful, offensive thing. Subject matter that's spiritually within my spirit energy. Christ himself correctly said, always separate from the evil, even if it's from your own family, even if it's from your own mom, your own parents. I said, he promised us family members will be splitting apart when you properly orient yourselves around me, because you'll be getting the strength to rip each other apart from each other. Those of you who are bad deserve to be ripped apart for your bad. Don't resist it. You must submit to how bad you are or die the hell death, he said. How much cleaner and plainer can I make it? Every video I've posted is the most pristine, clear thing. Only one human dreams to design an attempted line of gaslighting attempt. Only one, and we know her name. Every other human being would look at this says, the clearest one, John, the clearest one. It's no hope. Even if all the witnesses in the world would see all the letters from Barbara, it doesn't make a difference. Then Barbara isn't even smart enough to say, yeah, I want them to see the letters. No, because it's not about that. It's about controlling the circumstance, not her merit of righteousness, because she doesn't care about merit of righteousness. They're colorblind to it. Narcissists are colorblind to it. I continue to ask, do you not see how foolish you look over the course of this whole thing? Stop killing your son every day with this shit. I have to only preserve my life by ripping myself away from the sick source, which is the mother, and any engagement involved with her. I'm tired of these emails. It's like sets and several rounds of more emails that just take away from my soul every time she writes me. So eventually, whose fault is it if I see this unchanging pattern and I continue to permit her to write emails to me over and over again? Now I become the one responsible for pieces of my soul being taken away, cut off and killed away every time she interacts with me. You see? We're almost at that point, Barbara. You need to learn. Be in full alignment with God by literally, practically, figuratively punching yourself in the face in front of me, crying in front of many witnesses, I am the one wrong, John is my God. Or you have to kill yourself, figuratively speaking. These are figurative truths. They're extreme showings meant to arouse the emotionality, but the emotionality I'm arousing is consistent with the spiritual truths that are underlying this whole process. So good, I use these exciting figurative words on purpose to make you feel something that's correct for your spiritual energy to be drawn there. You must learn. God says you will learn or you will die. Spiritually so, you will die spiritually. I remind her, there's no such thing as mistakes, furthermore. if I tell you anything, even once, that anything, that any something that you are doing is wrong, and I tell for you to not do it, but that to do something different, well, then the moment you proceed to disregard this even once, then it's no longer misunderstanding. You can't invoke that ever again, forever in life, ever. After one moment, I told you once, and then once you said, that's it, you're cut off from God, you'd lose. The minute I go on to say that you do anything contrary to me or to my position, where it can be understood or reasonably inferred that you did understand that it is against what I indicate as being acceptable, that is the same moment that it is impossible forever for you to even dream of ever coming back to say, misunderstanding, not going to work. You are guilty, you are wrong, you are bad, and I lie to you, you are insulting for trying to pose this to me, and may all witnesses see and agree, this is insulting. She really tries to like vie for some kind of aspect of control. She wants something, but she doesn't deserve it, yet she thinks she's going to fight it for it anyway in her mind. By out here in reality, which is where the real offense takes place. Blah, everyone only wants to vomit. Disgusting woman. We continue. I go on furthermore to say there's no misunderstandings of any substantial or material nature, furthermore, that have served as a false basis for my arriving at that very proper conclusion that you are guilty, that you are wrong, that you are bad. A proper conclusion that was arrived at validly. Proceeding. I tell her, stop trying to avoid the blame. But I'm repeating myself in essence over and over again. So I don't have to repeat myself anymore. She still continues to not conform to the instruction. She is wrong. I don't have to even argue with her anymore. I could just simply pass it off really, truly, finally to the witness and say, yup, that is what justifies me cutting her off completely. I will not be talking to her anymore. She used up 80,000 chances. It's not going to work. And we continue. So I wrote further. I say, your only moral karmic job is to love, to take as much responsibility as possible for your own faults in this life. That's the only God instruction that both men and women ever received. No one's exempt from that, funny people. And I'll refer to clips and shorts that I featured in other places in this channel that featured them properly admitting on those shows, like whatever and elsewhere, that yeah, women get away with it because men let it happen. Men, you're at fault, you idiots, because you're society. But then why is society? Because of special actors that have brought down society and everyone else accepted it. And then those special actors, funny, are working. Why? It's admitted why.
Many people are very excited or animated when we speak about conspiracy theories. For some reason, a lot of people, for better, for worse, I'm not going to give obviously a psychoanalysis of why this happens, but a lot of people, there's a certain thrill, maybe there's something that catches them about explaining different events that take place, where this, whatever might be happening, that is really conspiracy theory, whether it's because people like to try to unearth, discover the true enemy. Well, the truth is that there's one ultimate conspiracy theory behind all conspiracy theories, and that is the coming of Mashiach. What I mean to say is that when we look at the world, there's many different things taking place. And we always think that this guy is responsible, that guy is responsible, maybe really the person that says he's not responsible, maybe he's really responsible. Maybe the victim is not really the victim, maybe he is the one that's causing the crime to begin with. In truth, Mashiach is the ultimate conspiracy theory. Everything that's happening in the world is orchestrated by God Almighty Himself. And the ultimate goal of creation, which every single event that happened in creation is ultimately leading to, whether we see it overtly, openly or not, is the coming of Mashiach. So we have this story.
And if you understand between the lines, that's the real truth. You look deep into even some of the, Illuminati stuff, and, I'm saying that Illuminati stuff, I actually know a lot of, not 3 a lots, but like 2 a lots, okay, about that general subject matter. It's profound how even from that side of things where most regular people who are in the know would identify kind of pretty fairly as being bad stuff, bad control structures, bad, even all of that. The reason the real reason it's driven along certain lines, there's a double reason. And there's an offshoot that really is totally destructive. It's bad. And Moshiach's part of Moshiach's job is to strip that part away. That's the real Amalek soul. But nevertheless, even the bad hand that has looked bad and evil and sinister is the hand that has been worn by the glove master, because it's all designed to facilitate conditions that bring about Moshiach. That really is the ultimate conspiracy theory. Once you reach that part, you've reached the whole circle. Although it's a fun 15 years plus to learn the intra levels that go in between to get to that phase, but at the end you realize it's all Moshiach. They call it a different name in some places, but really we know in the end and substance it is the Moshiach. We continue. I can return to this email. I furthermore write to her here that furthermore now, if you think you can write with a straight face after everything that I've expressed on all the videos, that the only mere problem is that, according to what she wrote, that our views are different, and that's the only real problem that's affecting the matter here, then you might be outright insane. Trying to essentially gaslight me with this shit at this late stage is horrifying and flamingly mind-blowing and insulting, and also hopelessly ineffective. It just doesn't work. It's funny that they try. It's like a little girl trying to convince her mom that she really did fly out the window as Supergirl today with a cape that she flew across the street to the top of the building. It's not funny, but narcissists don't have self-awareness. That's why it doesn't work. We continue. You are a narcissist. That's what I find and how I hold. Not an unreasonable finding given what we've shown so far. Other people agree with me by this point, amazingly. You're a cluster B monster. Just look at yourself. Your instinct is to avoid damage. That instinct never ceases to operate. But that is the very thing that will keep you truly most damaged in the long run. And I finally conclude this email I wrote. You owed me better than this. Does she receive the harmonic essence to understand? You're right, I did owe you better than this, I'm sorry. No. Only narcissistic people can behold this within the surrounding contextual framework of what actually happened, the factual background and narrative, and actually respond with something like, no, again she'll try it probably, no, you're misunderstanding it, that's all. You lose forever. Karmic God smash, you kill, hell, die by. Nothing else for you. You people need to submit your souls to the only way. Frame defiers, pay the price. We continue. So then I wrote to her another email because more was coming out. So I had to her, right, P.S. Writing to me so that, as you suggest or how you frame it, because I took another look at that email afterwards, I was like, wait, there's even more crazy shit. Of course, it never ends, right? Writing to me such that, as you suggest or how you frame it, that I have a better understanding of what happened, according to you, that you're there to inform me and help me improve my mind. Yeah, that's a fucking insult to me even further. And people who know me also would be surprised. Anyone who's met my mom and knows me is laughing. They're like, no, John's thousands of times more comprehensive in his understanding than this woman could possibly be. If few people know both of us well enough to come to that conclusion, I guarantee you that's the conclusion. You're fucking a joke. We continue. If you think a thought, hurt yourself because it should already be wrong before you even thought it. God damn, your role's not to think, Yin. It's to serve and be a helper to the one who is doing the thinking. That's what God's been trying to tell you all along. How else can I make it obvious? Stop trying to be a brain. It doesn't work. Your job's to be the facilitator. You're the secretary. You'll only hurt things by trying to control things to the anti-instinct. What the fuck? You're ruining it while thinking you're helping. You for sure. And sadly a lot of other women to a large extent too. But it's not the way it's supposed to be, and there is a proper way. You're the most brilliant when you understand how to be with your correct programming. Continuing. You think treating me as someone who's not even able to even fundamentally understand, the very situations that other questionable or apparently malign people subject me to. That means you, hint, hint, you think treating me that way is, as it goes on to say here, the correct thing to do? This frame job doesn't work. I don't look to the deceptive mommy of my life and frame to go ahead to shape how she wants me to understand things in life. That's psychotic, practically, and completely delusional. It's hopeless. But the broken instinct has to try. It's like I have to. The kind of instinct we witness is similar to like the Nigerian scam man who writes you saying he's the prince, and if you just send him $5,000, he's going to send you back $1 million once he uses it to get the $1 million of his unlocked. Right? It's such an obvious scam that you could go to it. He knows he's a scam man. He's still not going to admit to you he's a scam man. You know he's a scam. He knows he's a scam. You're telling him that you know that he's a scam, and that you know that he knows he's a scam, that everybody knows, and he still will write you back going, I'm not a scam. Send me the money. It's hopeless because it's instinct defiling the nature and essence of the substance of the human being. A man, which is worse. A dishonorable man, that's worse than a dishonorable woman because it's a more fundamental transgression. It's like, if the thug hits you in the face, well, that's bad, but you expected it. If the priest comes down and starts boxing your head without cause, that's worse. You get it? Man being a thug is worse than woman being corrupt. For the same exact reason, by extension of logic. It's unbelievable. Your minds have to expand to the point of almost being as gods yourselves. Continue. I go on to explain to you, particularly where it is very apparently you and only you who lack the full scope of understanding. Everybody in the world, please, who agrees with me, who disagrees? Hey everybody, is there any level or layer of understanding that hasn't been touched? That's like a substantial aspect that's been completely untouched by my whole narrative? No. I promise you there isn't. I could just about promise you. I'd be very surprised if you showed me even one substantive layer that's totally like, oh, I didn't even consider that. Oh, that's so out of left field. So new. So, and thus, even slightly changing to my overall paradigm understanding. Like, no. Let me put it this way. I had 2 people recruited to analyze the Anthony situation that I posted on Craigslist. This playlist was 120 plus hours, maybe 130. My God. The other one was only 18 hours. 2 people reviewed. One of them, a woman, gave a wonderful review. And she agreed with me. And funny, the guy, who I said, not all guys are smarter than girls. The guy didn't agree with me. So now we're having an issue with the guy, not with the girl. Right? We continue. And amazing. She has experience with like narcissistic stuff. She understands it. It's amazing. Wonderful. I might have her again or use her again. Really, I understand her quality because she actually got to completion. There's another one who's reviewing this, Fallon. I have a little understanding because me and her have not yet touched base. Ostensibly, she's hearing all this too. We still haven't gotten in touch as of today. Okay. Now, but that other girl, Gabby, she said, literally, she like wrote to me this very clearly. She was like, dude, like, you know, it's kind of like incredible how you're both extremely broad and extremely deep. And she just comments, she says, not a lot of people can even handle being on the receiving end of something that's both so comprehensively but widely broad and deep at the same time. That's extremely rare. I say, yeah, superhuman. That's what it does. You see everything. And then Mom Tree starts to say, hi, you don't understand. I'll correct your thinking. Not a hope in human hell. Not a snowflake's a chance in hell. Please, someone shut her down and be like, lady, we're understanding that you're probably delusional. Stop believing you're not even close to this guy, and he's right on fucking practically everything. It's kind of sick. Stop torturing your son. You have a false instinct because you're allowing yourself to keep hurting him and it's not affecting you. Get the fuck out of his life, please, because it's offending me now because I care about this guy and I barely maybe even know him, but enough that If any man hurts, leave him the fuck alone. You're evil and wrong, etc., etc. So if we carry this kind of frame, not just with particular people involved with in explicit things, but oh my God, if we enforce this as law, everyone lives in paradise because everyone's ego and dignity is uplifted to the maximum. There's going to be a first wave where a lot of people suffer and are extinguished off this earth, and then after that, everyone who's left is beautifully functional. It's like we have perfect society forever. All our offspring, generations, 1,000 years. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't wait. We continue. It goes on to state here that particularly this is so that this is psychotic practice, particularly where it is very apparently you and only you who lacks the full scope of understanding. I said this already. That's right. We continue. Now, why does ChatGPT, good question here, and other AI, why do they regularly and extremely consistently show their siding with me? Literally completely from just analyzing impersonally, an impersonal analysis of the merits and the narrative objectively. What? You see it over and over again. How do I ritually fucking do these slaughters? Because I'm right by the merits. So when you're right, you don't have to get up in the morning and stage or frame anything. You're just right to begin with before you even open your eyes. You know how easy that is? Being right plus being smart is the ultimate win. You cannot fail. You're literally destined to be meta God. You have nothing stopping you. May all who deny the power be into suffering. Continuing, it goes on to say, then you think like how, what did I write? Then you think like how I would misunderstand it. This must be the same misunderstanding. Oh, you're the way you suggest I misunderstand it. Well, that must be the same misunderstanding supposedly that absolutely every other entity, human being or otherwise, would also have. Because hey, if AI is agreeing with me, every other human being is agreeing with me. Oh, so you must think, oh, everyone is misunderstanding, right? Oh, so you mean everyone's brain has a glitch? We're all the glitch. Only Barbara has the non-glitch. You must hit yourself in the head really hard while crying, admitting how fucked up you are. There's no other way. Exit from pain zone. God makes your suffering. It's the most important thing. Everyone who's hurt wants pain back onto you. Teal Swan said so. Bow and know your shame. Continuing. I am tired of this shit. I have a feeling it really is time soon. All the signs have been shown for a while that it's time soon to come to the end of this whole thing here. We're going to proceed. So I continue to ask her, so you think you just have because of this, some magic, powerful revelation that makes everything okay by these magic letters or whatever? Yeah, continuing. Right, but that revelation is so secret and special that we can't discuss it, huh? Come on, everyone fucking is rolling their eyes. Okay, as promised, and I'll reaffirm again. If I receive a letter that's properly marked private and confidential, I won't explicitly just go and plainly violate it and publish the live actual contents of that letter. Okay, I'll accept it, but I'll talk about it. I'll talk about what I found in the letter. I'll talk about what problems I found in the letter, and I'll talk about what I concluded about the letter. That's totally fair for someone in my position to do. Plus, I'm saying I promise to do that in the event I receive any letter. And you agree, regardless of how you mark it, that at the very least, that is what I'll do. And that's as much as I'll do. And then, what a pointless exercise that will be. Because I will still feel the same way. But Mom didn't think of this part. When she sees me read her letter, whatever it is going to be, if she goes ahead and submits one to me, I will then read it. I'll feel exactly how I feel about it, properly according to the terms I've written out here, so there can be no complaint especially without her expressly objecting to any such thing. Definitely not. I'll have it shared directly, privately. I'll forward it to a witness. They'll look at it. I'll share my analysis of it. We're all going to be in agreement. I'll guarantee you, it doesn't have to be prophecy. It's obvious that the person I'm dealing with on the other side of this, she's brainless. Not the witness, the mother here. And now we're all going to get back to her and say, we reviewed the letter that private letter that's going to stay private. Our findings about it are our findings. We might publicly say that we found the letter was without merit and silly, or didn't change the substance of the situation. But so do we think now in hindsight that Barbara planned for the next step? Do you think she's sitting there, guys? She's banking on us finding. She really believes. We found this funny thing before. She really believes we're going to be convinced. Oh, we're finding out some misunderstanding. No such thing. She doesn't even have a plan of what the next step is. Once we show her this is nonsense, so you're still wrong, she doesn't know what to do next. She has no next step, because this is narcissistic short-sightedness. Because they're always addicted to not truth and love and light and God and love, but to the other things, the other slants and lines. Bad. We continue. Sick. Hold on to your sick boyfriend too. That's another aspect that I'm going to continue to open up in my conversation with AI that's shown. Yeah, hold on to that evil shit. Yeah, and you're really going to guarantee a complete irreconcilability and full permanent separation from your son. Hold an invocation of how fine and okay that guy is and continue to be with him. Yeah? Puh. More will be said in the more related videos about that. But this is all it's all sick. All sick. I'm sick of it. I want to shit it out of my system because she's corrupted, and we can never lie to ourselves as men. We're truth oriented, so we can never delude ourselves. That God hates that the most. They'll tolerate a woman doing it. He doesn't tolerate men doing it. We get worse punishment than women for doing that. You get that? We continue. So I mock her basically and further say, yeah, it's so secret special that we can't discuss it, or you otherwise will just act such as to never actually show it, right? Because of what you said. Remember that nonsense? Yeah, all this is brainless and nonsense going only what? Insulting. Exactly right. Insane. We continue. I'm fucking tired of this. Insane. And yes, this is essentially constituting further abuse. Writing to your son like this is for trying to manipulate a woman. Trying to manipulate a man in any way conceivable is abuse. They bank on a man not being able to read that it's a manipulation. But because they're dumb, they underestimate our ability to pick up that it's a manipulation. But sadly, more men today are wearing away. Women too, and men. All organisms are wearing away. Down. Your GABA B's gone down while mine's gone up. So it's divergence there too. Crazy. We continue. I go on to state simply, it really never ends, the insanity, the abuse. You need help. I really mean it. I really do. This here is no way to make a relationship with your family. This line of attempt. These are tactics. Okay. You failed. You failed again. I'm tired of this. Nothing you do makes sense. Not the beginning actions, not the post-middle phase of the management, because all you ever try to do is manage a situation instead of actually learning how to properly relate to someone correctly. Yeah? And neither is the late stage phase of your denials and your attempts at damage control are making sense either. It's all fucking weird. Stop it. I hate this. Stop it. God help us. Reviewers, audience, public, witnesses, whoever in the world who looks at this, what do you think? What do you say? Let us know in the comments below. Please help us. I need your comments. When you hear me call for your comments and you're not leaving them, it also kind of hurts me because it's condemning me to having a lack of validation. We must validate that the victim is the victim before the final boss can actually be defeated. Get it? Like in the video game. You understand that? Okay. So, and I finally add, look, you are just super out of touch. Whole email review. Anything I said that's incorrect, false, let me know in the comments below. Please, this is a YouTube video. Somebody fucking engage with me with comments, please. I will see it. Help, help, God help. Thank you. We recently left off in this playlist. We mentioned that it had been a while since she even bothered to say anything back. So, in short, she finally wrote something. Now we see. Will this woman finally say and show herself after having, obviously she should have reviewed everything because that's what she promised she would do. So naturally, inherent in this should be her obvious or reasonably implicit or that we could infer or deduce that yes, she did do that, and she's assuring us of this, right? Nice, good, considerate actions from the proper person in the situation. Yeah, is that what we see? Ha. Things never change in this world. Just remember that. So what you're going to get, as seems to be apparent here from what we can behold, is the seeming niceness, but with the same, in my figurative assessment, like figuratively speaking, psycho-like adherences by this point in time. It has to be like psycho-like, okay? In essence, these attachments to the same addictive control freak frames. What am I saying? Let's go take a look. You judge for yourselves. She writes back to me yesterday. Today, by the way, is, as it shows here, the April 11th. So she wrote this finally April 10th. Not too bad. Only a week and a half behind without any bothering to acknowledge anything. Not the worst, right? Yeah, we just roll with the punches, as my father used to say, or once said to me. She simply states in a relatively short email, but let's consider the deep implications of this. Simply, I'm very sorry that you feel that way. Perhaps that's the best sentence of this whole email, because the way I see it, it only really goes downhill from here when you look at the subtle nuances and implications of absolutely every single thing tied into all these words and their extensions by meaning. Remember, sick people have no concept of the sickness that they breed around everywhere they walk. She then goes on to state, and now, by the way, I say here, before we look at this, have we not seen something like this that we're about to behold from her already before? That's right, we're in April of 2024. Do we remember from about August, September, October time frame there of 2023, this past year? Leading up to the failed non-existent meeting that was supposed to happen that she canceled last minute that was supposed to be with Anthony and me? No apology for that. Nothing. I still don't see any apology actually here in this email. No, we don't see that. But remember, she was trying to put what kind of frame, where we covered this already within this whole set of videos and playlists, the whole, big misunderstanding. Oh, listen, I'll give you the special letters. When I tell you what it is, then you will understand. That whole narcissistic framing, you understand? Doesn't fly with man's mind who perceives all. Doesn't work. It's all failed manipulation attempts. It's not going to work anymore. Nor would it have worked actually in a very long time with me. But this is part of not Exalted Woman's programming. Exalted Woman's beautiful, but she's just exceedingly rare nowadays. This is base female programming. Lower woman. Lilith, the satanic Eve. We understand that allegory. This has covered a little bit some of my other videos on the channel that are not part of the playlist strictly about this, but proceeding. So what does she write here? She writes, I fear that we have, is this a huge problem? Is she going here saying, my God, see, what is a man in my position, and anyone witnessing this obviously, what are they beholding and expecting reasonably that any normal person, normal person in her position would rightly, properly do? They'd say, you know what, I can't deny it anymore. Yes, John, yes, honey, I've watched everything. I did it as promised. I know I was a little slow. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that would have made sense. Next, you would have expected. Now look, I cannot even dream to try to pretend or admit that this was like that somebody just misunderstood, that some kind of convenient excuse is not going to work, my son. It's not regarding of your dignity, and I'm sorry. I understand everything AI has said about me, everything that you've said. I can no longer escape fault. It would be stupid for me to even try. Of course I should say, I'm sorry for all of the things that I did wrong. There's no way I could deny it. It would be psychotic, in essence, for me to try to deny more that some slippery, nice, snake-like maneuver to try to slip in through the cracks again to evade accountability. Not gonna work. No, not with man's mind exalted in form. Not gonna work. What does she write here? Do we see any of that good proper stuff that man would expect? No. I feel that we have, again, this is recycling the same old stuff from before. Same patternings, just try it again. You'd think if they did work the first time, and then I show even more nuanced, precise things with more AI reinforced about how she's wrong and I'm right. No, because all woman understands when she's in her lower base nature, so the God process is ripping her spirit up from the base nature to the exalted state. Nothing else is acceptable in this world. And Moshiach is coming soon. But for now, we prepare the final stages of this process. Spiritually, figuratively, even literally, we understand, we come to understand this. That sick people don't change. Take a look. I feel, it goes on to say, we have just a huge misunderstanding of what really took place. Can you believe it? Anthony sat with us with full involvement as far as my mom would permit. You get it? For over a fucking year. That man, that human being, who I'm having some issues with now at this point, on other side things, somewhat related, but doesn't matter. With respect to this, he found fully, said to me, John, I've been involved for over a year. I haven't seen anything from your mom to excuse any aspect of what she's done. And I've kept writing to her over and over and over again. Where naturally, if she had something to substantiate any, that you'd be arrogant enough to dream to claim that this is a misunderstanding, yeah, convenient, you would have offered that up immediately along with the claim. It's a misunderstanding because right there with it should be, here's how I saw it, and this is why, and that is why. You'd be arrogant, stupid, and foolish to do so unless you were reasonably certain that it's true that the other person's not seeing it correctly. That is, the one in my position is not seeing it correctly, which is an insane thing to even dream to assert at this stage, given everything we've seen and how thoroughly it's understood, and that a witness has already seen it all and looked at it and like, he was like, yeah, he was even surprised that he was fully agreeing with me, because his initial assumption is that, well, when a woman and a mother and the son, it's kind of like, superficially, if you don't want to do too much thinking, you kind of want to believe that it's the mom who's right. And he was like that at first. So trust me, my mom had to do all the faulty measures along the way to break it down for her, because Anthony was doing everything he could to initially side with her for as long as possible. He just kept finding himself so surprised the further along he went that he just wasn't able to. It stunned even him. He was like, yeah, at the end of it, took him almost a year, where finally he was like, yeah, I really just have nothing else to say. I can't believe how empty her side is of any merit. But remember, even months after that, another 6 months of abusive relation with your son, which is the abusive relation being a neglectful relation, a neglectful form of relating, which is a complete ignoring. Further lack of responsibility is killing your son every day. Is killing your son every day. Failing to admit that you were wrong when you did wrong is like trying to get away with re-murdering the same person every day when you fail to kill yourself in front of that person every day in your self-sacrifice of admitting how wrong you were. See, that's how psychology works. That's how spirit and God works. Wake up. I'm tired of this shit. Do you see someone who's genuinely repentant and willing to atone? The answer is, you see the same patterns over and over and over again. It's the same sick, demonic sort of element, in essence, operating within the operative programming of what you see. Because we see, I feel we have this huge misunderstanding what really took place, and also why things didn't progress. And what's the implication there, I would say? It's that you see that the reason for things not progressing properly is because of my fault. Well, if you're saying here that there's a misunderstanding about why, even why, what the reasons are that things didn't, we could say, progress properly. When she comes and says, no, everything you said, oh, that's just a misunderstanding. So she's implying, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Mind-blowing. The gaslighting instinct never ends with these types. I'm proud to show humanity this sickness of these individuals like this. Gaslighting never ends from the wicked. She continues to state arrogantly, our views are completely different, and that's the problem. This is being written ostensibly, supposedly, perhaps, after, my God, mind-blowing, after everything that has been said up until this very point in the playlist, all the videos that have been up until now, or just about, probably, at least most of them probably. Are you mind fucked? What happened to this woman? Is she's even, that means she's even worse than we already thought up until this point in time. That's how scary it is when we deal with these types. Just to be no taking account of anything truly like, I was wrong, I'm sorry, son. No, just, and again, we saw this before, remember? So we're obviously in response to that, nothing opened up for her, because that's not going to be the access to God or to truth. That's only the access to self-egoistic control attempts, but really it's a failure. You will never succeed at it, because yin will die. That's it. That's the only way. When yin is broken, yin must die, in essence, to spiritually be cut off from God, to more literally properly mean, and truly, really, in that sense, most fully for that. Broken, yin has to be healed, or yin has to be killed. Not literally, don't get me wrong. I don't give a shit about these people, anyone who's sick in this world to this degree. It's disgusting. There's one correct formula: rebuke it, cut it away from you, and let it rot on its own, where it receives God's punishment till the end. Nothing in this world makes me more and more adamantly understanding these things than receiving more arrogant things. Remember that from the book of 48 Laws of Power. Just, you know, more arrogance, whatever that word was, more audacity with more audacity. It's this same shit again. God help us, please. Can you, anyone with a normal empathic wiring, especially if you're a woman, you're both, it's like, poor guy, just, poor guy, like, what are you doing, lady? Look at what you're hurting your son, poor guy. Like, I'm wincing for him. I'm wincing for, wake up. We could all see it. What the fucking hell? The arrogance, it sickens me. Our views are completely different. That's the problem. She continues to then write and explain to me. Haha, you see the sickness of it? I will write a very, at least she tries to seem like it's nice, so she's thinking, I'm gonna put the nice words here, that's what'll make it fine. But we have to show through this long, hard, very pain, it has to be, sorry, it just has, not sorry though, has to be painful for anyone in even this mother's position. She chose this path of reckless mind sickness of this type, spiritual sickness. But she tries for another moment of seeming niceness. She's gonna write, I will write the very honest and a sincere letter to you, so you will have a better understanding. Wait, a very honest and sincere letter to you so that we can reconcile after I admit how wrong I was? No, so that you will, what? So that you will have a better understanding of what was going on. You see the gaslighting attempts? Okay, so how did, for over a year, Anthony examine this whole matter with full exposure to both sides for as long as he deemed it necessary, where he didn't find any evidence that there's any such mistake that I misrepresented anything? Does anybody around me, for the last 8 years now, it's been 8 years as of about a couple days ago or so, from that coma, the research chemicals modulating the whole nervous system and brain, now, has anyone in the last 8 years come up to me and said, you know what, that one there, he, let's say, for as one point, he misrepresents something, or that he misunderstands something, or that he misspoke about something critical, where furthermore that was substantiated, that it was apparently truly so, that there was a true, like, off missing the mark in some kind of way. Not once. Not once. I'm literally, practically superhuman in my acuity and precision on things. There's no such thing. If I assess something, I never speak until I am as sure about what I'm saying that if I'm wrong, I'd literally take a gun out of my pocket and blow myself. But it would never happen. That's when you have full integrity. Literally, you could say, you get to a point where you say the word chair, the chair will fall out of your mouth. I'm practically at this level already in my life. I have been for a little while. There's no way some delusional, like, almost, from my opinion, the way I see it by this point, lady in her position can come to me and convincingly state either to me that it has a convincing effect on me, or that anyone in the world looking at this would be convinced. This is the point. It has to show properly as being what? This is a failure attempt by the Barbara again, to try to have an influence over how I fundamentally think or perceive about anything. It's impossible. A woman, especially a broken woman, can never influence a man with success. You only believe you can. We're too advanced. A super AI will never yield to a dumb AI. It sees the dumbness for what it is. It's hopeless. The arrogance, though, it's insulting to frame as if I'm the one who didn't have the proper understanding of what's been going on. You see? Oh, gotta correct the little John. Only 36 years old this year later. What the? It never ends. But this is how you kill your children. Never nourish them with proper honor and dignification. You stunt them forever. And then God has to take over. Otherwise, on their own merits, they're screwed because of you. You never get it. It's always pass. The woman of this type is always pass away responsibility, pass away anything of this type. I'm never wrong. Oh, just a misunderstanding. Snake shit. Snake programming, slipping through the cracks again. I'm tired of it. These videos are obviously not working as they were intended. So it's very sad. If this woman got up until this point and there's zero net effect and change, I don't have much more to say, but I really didn't have that much more to say anyway. My final intentions have been to finish up this email stuff. At this rate, it's going to get to a point where, lady, mom, this email stuff's not working because, again, just every round of expression and communication you dare to generate, despite your seeming best efforts to screen out all the shit, you keep leaving the offense that brings indignation to the dignity of man's king soul. So you must die, karmically speaking, figuratively speaking, spiritually speaking. Very important. Very important. That's God's law. It's not mine. I just came into understanding of God's law, and it's like, wow, I really understand it at a higher level than most human beings alive today. At the very least, I can very comfortably say that. To how high is the little matter of debate. But my God, it's time to open your eyes, people. Do this for yourselves. This is a model of how to carry out your own lives. This is extremely important programming. You must follow it. There's no hope for this planet and this society if you can't do exactly what the God force is programming you to do. You're going to fail because you're going to keep trapping yourselves and falling for each other's traps. That's the devil's traps in the net aggregate sense. So she continues. I hate reading this even. You'll see my response and then see for yourselves. You agree with her, you agree with me. It's the indignation never ends with these types. That's all I have to keep saying about it. She goes, I write very honest, sincere letter so you will have a better understanding what was going on. The implicit insult in that statement is reeking. That I am the one who doesn't understand what's going on is the flaming insult of them all. There's no such thing. Not with the level of IQ and the neuroreceptor density that was added on top of that from the research chemicals. It's impossible. Superhuman. There's nothing. There's not a single conceivable aspect of this situation that is outside of the realm of my understanding. But no, hardly any. Do you know how rare it is for someone to offer something that's new to my understanding? It almost never happens because that's how auto-expanded my full understanding accurately rolls out to fucking crazy levels. It's hopeless. We continue. She goes on thereafter to state. And now I'll add as a side note, as we analyze this, very relevantly, furthermore, firstly, now you would think though, if she has this magic hidden substantiation somewhere like, oh, I have my reasons. Let me explain, as if someone in her position could really be accomplishing this in a way that's actually in good faith, you see, with respect to the proper nourishing of the relationship. No, that's impossible. If you're dealing with a man and he's your eldest son especially, no, if you wronged him, that's it. You're fucking screwed. If you don't bow and bend the knee yourself, you are wrong, and you fully like bow your head all the way, I am wrong. You have nothing. You're cursed off of this earth. You have nothing. You continue. You think she's going to say, okay, here's the substantiation. And listen, I know that it's important that you understand plainly and that there's witnesses involved. And the witnesses should understand plainly because they're the ones whose third-party evaluating role or effect is going to be the one that really is the extra fortification on what the righteousness of this situation, what the reality of it really is. So, you know, obviously the plain things should be made plain, right, son? You would think a normal person would say, so obviously let me make it clear so that first of all, if she has something that would exonerate her, you would think that a normal woman would understand, yes, this is good for me. It's good that people will understand whatever it is that I'm about to say. This should be the most publicized thing. So if the other stuff was already publicized in a sort of way, even it's not really publicized because there's no views on any of my videos. No one's coming in to watch it really. But practically speaking, it's essentially private still in terms of exposure, but it's semi-public in a kind of sense because it's technically on a public URL that if you know the URL or the name of the video, then you could go find it. You see what I'm saying? But no one's even finding it. But that, regardless of the point, if she's someone who first acknowledges that she's wrong, secondly, wants to offer something that would bring some kind of perhaps it could be possibly conceivable that there's something that gives a very, very tiny partial justification or semblance of a defensibility or excusability to her. Yeah, so that's the part that you want to scream the loudest about, right? If you're a normal woman, of course. So you think she would say, okay, I'm going to explain it. This is the part I want you to publicize. I'll tell you, make sure everyone understands it, because that's the part, because out of self-interest you would think, well, right, any woman who's wanting to, right, she would naturally want, because that works better for her, right? Let's watch the twistings. Let's watch the twistings proceed from here. She goes on here to state, this letter will be delivered to you in a few days. She tells it to me. What letter, we don't know, because she didn't explain that there was any kind of letter. So from no letter being part of this recent narrative, all of a sudden she's already referring to a letter without having described what it is. Just this letter will be delivered to you in a few days. So by implication, we understand that there's some sort of letter that she's trying to form up, or that she's been forming up, that she wants to write out in her own defense. Possibly, perhaps even likely, it might be an extension of the same sort of letters that she had promised from 6 months ago. They're 6 months overdue. We spit on such disgusting indignations that are cast to human beings in our position. Unacceptable. But we continue for now to analyze. She says, this letter will be delivered to you in a few days. She doesn't ask me, is it okay if I bring this letter? What do you think? No, just this is the psycho nature of the Polish crazy mind. Just, I do this, I do that. That's it. You see it again, arises over and over again. There's no end. So it continues again after that. She then, of course, the very repentant woman that she is, very apologetic, atoning, and trying to make the relationship great again, she says, I don't give you permission to post it on YouTube. So now everyone who's watching already is just laughing while their minds are exploding, mind blows, explosions over and over again at the same time, because none of this makes sense. Anyone's looking at this thing saying, what the fuck, crazy lady again? You're supposed to be reconciling with your son. This is how you're writing to your son, who you're supposed to be trying to ingratiate yourself with. This is disgusting. If he wasn't already angry enough, probably he's going to break through our screens and choke us, because any one of us by this point just simply even passively remind him of this fucking woman who makes all women look bad in relation by being even associated that she's the same gender. Like, That's how bad it's getting. The fuck? We continue to analyze. It goes on to state, and I'm going to analyze a little bit more as to why she's doing this, what the implications of this are, and how this type of mind really works. Because, hey guys, if you're the one in my position, let's scroll back up. All this, we remember these past videos that I did on this. You think we were getting the sympathetic, oh, I understand, I'm more than happy, yeah. No, it's back to, I do this, you're here, you can't do this, don't do that. It's the same shit, so that's going to fail you. Guaranteed forever fail. There's no way. It's not going to work. This only drives you even further away than what you were before the time of this email being written. Every single email brings more offense. Even the one who's like, I understand, it was a temporary alleviation, but it crashed into itself the moment it became a false representation. How? We let the time go, and it was a promise that was not kept, apparently. And the rest of this email, from what we see, no mention. She doesn't even acknowledge. Well, yes, let me assure you, she doesn't feel the instinct that she has to assure me. This is narcissism again, revisited. The hell. I'm tired of this, everybody. Please, someone fucking save me. I'm not inciting people to outright go and fucking murder these people. I'm not. But my God, I want to fucking mind delete you out of existence. This is your merit. There's nothing else for these types. You're already spiritually killed, because what emanates from your soul is this shit. You are only worth what the fuck you do for other people. If you do nothing for those who you are blood related to, your own children, you deserve nothing and minus. You deserve negative. The weight will tear you, kill you. Fucking hell. I have every email that comes that again withholds the proper thing that should have always been owed every second of every day of every bit of my life the whole time, is more weight for your getting ripped down to hell even faster. It's nothing. Burn forever. Fucking murka, fucking, yeah, you don't even fucking know. The fuck. I'm gonna fucking, one day, it's gonna fucking happen. Who the fuck knows what? That'll be the only mystery. You are fucking idiots for mistreating each other, you human beings. God's word is you will all be crushed. For one of you even once ever thought one tiny bad thought about anyone ever makes the whole world judgment cracked. Nothing. Fucking idiots. God's dignity is the real one you'd better fucking watch out to not transgress against. And the closer human beings are to God, the worse it will be for you to transgress against them. Figure it out. We continue to analyze this crap. It even tried to masquerade as something like decent at the first sentence. The energy of the first sentence has nothing to match with what the fuck ended up happening by the very middle portion of this pretty small, tiny email. She couldn't even keep it up for fucking 3 lines. You fucking get it? They don't give a shit about you, these people. Narcissists care about themselves. They're addicts of their own ego, loving the lace protection of the me. They love it. Nothing else matters. You get it? It's addiction. It's psycho. It's poplontane v govie. Fucking the neurons are miswired. Don't you get it? These people don't feel the same way you feel. They don't have the same expectations about life that you do. Everything will be torn down from these people's lives karmically by God. It's just a matter of time how it happens through God. I assure you, and pray for it every day. I command all of you to fucking pray for the destruction, Psalm 109 style, for every single fucking non-bowing and non-repentance that anyone who's ever offended you even once, they withhold tshuva, snap their fucking spiritual necks off their fucking lives. Karmically, they're fucking ripped. I hate you fucking people. Any single one of you who are like this, who have this operative programming. But only God is to be thanked that He permits me to learn so much, so many beautiful things. Every day I get insulted by one of you freaks. I learn the deepest things that you could never learn unless the shit touches you over and over again like it does with me. Mom is fated to destruction spiritually. But through that which was allowed by God and even consented by me in the pre-spiritual agreements, is God blessing me by the positive side that comes to me from the abuse that comes from there. Narcissists will pay. Moshiach is coming, and every narcissist will be the first Amalek that is taken and ripped. If you're a normal woman, you're hurting inside that you see a man being hurt like this. But if you're not, then you're just like Barbara Winslow, the same one who will write another email in response to this and hearing these videos too, and just go, what? Nothing wrong. You misunderstand. Now, do this, do that, and you can't do that. Kill yourselves. Is it any fucking clear yet by now how worthless these operative programs, these people are dead? Figuratively speaking. They're already dead, in other words, how they're acting. So it's crazy and always hurtful for people who are still alive in their souls here to feel the death of these people who come at you. The energetic frequency mismatch. That's the only real problem. Blindos. For those who can't see. But she goes on, as we described, I don't give you permission to post it on YouTube. Yeah, sure. But, nevertheless, technically, if a person generally in life wants to hand you something and they mark it private and confidential, there's a sense or semblance of obligation that does genuinely attach onto the recipient if they choose to open it and avail themselves to the contents, or the contents to themselves, and to come and behold the materials. So, but this is some kind of frame control to try to invoke privacy and a shielding from scrutiny by other people on something like this. Like what? What? Ostensibly this is what? Her trying to defend herself and explain herself and try to reshift the frame. While that in itself is offensive, at the very least, if this seemingly offensive thing on the face of the matter is actually genuine, well, first of all, then it's not offensive because it's genuine. Secondly, the genuineness, well, she should only offer it ever even dream to if it is genuine. See? But the genuineness of this would be the thing that is helpful to anyone in her general position. So this is where the first puzzling aspects start to emerge. It's like, wait, why would anyone would behold this and read, why? This doesn't make sense. If she really does seem crazy to some people, perhaps. What the fucking hell? Why would she? But there's an insane logic to the insanity, so to speak, I would hold and figure. I'll elaborate a little bit more in a moment, but this is very tiring and wearing to the soul. So what's the punishment for writing emails that have the effect of wearing on the soul of the recipient in a way that's not merited within context to do so? That's apparently what's going on here, because it's all bullshit in the big framework. You can't escape that, the literal fact of that assessment, the way I hold it. All witnesses would agree. This is fucking tiring. There has to be a price. All women get away with it, and men too. Everybody, people, get away with everything because you keep not making it hurt properly. Yes, for them to dream to do the thing. It has to hurt you. What hurts people who are narcissists the most? Honestly, publicization. We know that already. Among other things, but few things. And then they don't get the same benefits and love. They don't know what that is. The whole program is different. It really is sad and hurtful. Out of this continued pain, I continue to express the analysis and the rest of the contents as we here see them. I hate this. May God stop it one day soon. The best way it's meant to be stopped. Stop wrongs. Stop wrongs. You know what wrongdoing is? It's taking away from the dignity of any human being ever in a way that's not properly merited to do. By context. Nuance. King, crown, wear it, live. We continue. Then she goes on thereafter. We'll assess this whole thing, and then we'll assess really the what and the why. And really the why is the most profound thing for anyone who's normal beholding this. It really does come off like, yeah, this is like a bad shit job again. What the fuck? Yeah. She goes on to state, if you want to post what I write you, well, then just simply let me know ahead of time so I won't even send it. What? That's fucking kinda crazy. It's unusually and perhaps almost just about outright unreasonably protective of her own position, of her own defense. What? But that she even is trying to defend anything about her position as a misunderstanding, and she's going to explain something to me, is already the offense. But then if you're gonna do that route, then you do it in a way where you try to petition in a way where it's clearly demonstrable, not just to the person you're dealing with one-on-one. Remember, narcissists love trapping you in one-on-one because they rule your kingdom forever with their sickness, their narcissism. Because you're being wrong, but while you complain that you're being wrong, they'll just deny you to your face, and no one else around you can help you because they've insulated you around. They're trapping you. So what's really going on, guys? It's this. It's not about her being right, it's about her having control. So she's not doing this because out of an operative instinct of, yes, I cannot wait to show the merit of the righteousness, but oh, if the righteousness is not upon me, then I understand that it is not upon me, and so I will concede. No, that's man programming. But man programming in that essence is supposed to extend onto woman domain in terms of how it's managed, because there cannot be coherence between the world of man and the world of woman without this bridge. There cannot be. That's why today in the world you see yin and yang are at the most irreconciled that has ever been in human history. That's the most profound thing imaginable. We're living in the hell now. So as said, she does not, her instinct is not to show the righteousness. No, it's to control, even if it's not right. And if you complain it's not right, she just won't admit to. She will just bypass and transcend your paradigm completely and won't even acknowledge it. The only thing she'll understand is, I can never be wrong. That's the only thing I understand. By instinct, you see. This is how snake narcissists work. And it's the most sad when it affects yin. That's why I talk about it like this, because there's yang too. Originally it was more of a yang program anyway, in a kind of way at least. When it affects more and more women, that's bad, because women were supposed to be the safe place for men, the nurtured place for men. Other men were supposed to be the difficult ones for men. But ironically, men know how to treat each other well, but my God, when they don't, it's then woman you sort of run to, so to speak, who really is your supreme comforter at the end of the day. Whether it's mommy, or whether it's wifey, or you understand, or just family overall is supposed to carry a yin energy. Except when you fuck it up. Except when you fuck it up. No, these types, as we show here, are more interested in... No, I just had it the perfect way to word it, and it just slipped out of my mind for a moment. But let me try to regain my wording here for a moment, because I really had it right at the tip of my tongue to hit the nail on the head, so to speak. Let's see here. Right, it's exactly this. You see, when a woman in her position is going to attempt to make these letters, she has to, out of what? To protect her sense of, I say dignity, quote unquote, but it's really false dignity. It's what I refer to in other videos that are probably outside of this playlist. Maybe, but it's in other videos, multiple other videos, I think, even, from various things I've put here or there, as being overbought or underbought, oversold, like off balance dignity, which not proper dignity, not defensible dignity, false dignity. You see, so to appease her ego, false dignity, I will always arise to thwart any accusations against me. You know, side note, by God's objective view, well, yeah, even the ones where she's actually wrong, which is wrong. That is wrong. You're cursed. But it doesn't matter to her. In her own self-centric view, all she understands is, and then she'll do that for the sake of doing that. She just has to instinctively do that. She has to instinctively repel, justify, defend, and engage in this type of operative programming. It's sick. It's not going to fly, but we're going to continue anyway. Here's the thing. Here's the real key aspect of this thing, okay? In life, in reality, she can either be correct, she could offer up some material on this, and she's either going to be correct or incorrect. Now, the only one of those two, either it's going to be a successful defense or an unsuccessful defense, which then looks silly because you dared to even try. So it's like an insult, right? Right. But, exactly that. Exactly that. So if she self-instinctively, internally, inside, she internally calibrates and reads this, calculates, it's all subconscious calculations these types do, they see that, you know, maybe someone will think it looks foolish, maybe it might seem off, so she won't even give any other person the opportunity to discover that she is in the wrong. It's always about that, control. But that, of course, is wrong. If you're the wrongdoer, you're not allowed to shield the wrongdoing of your situation from the view of the public or whoever is necessarily involved. So this is only indicating of what? More selfishness and evil associated with the narcissistic programming. Okay? Now we continue. If she is in the right, this would get her like a tiny bit of a benefit, but I think these people have like a strange paradoxical, it's some kind of paradox where some part of their subconscious realizes they are wrong, while simultaneously another part of their subconsciousness thinks that they're right. It's something like this, like they're both right and wrong at the same time, and then they calculate both of those at once to then determine how to manipulate the scene. That's all they care about. They're not caring about being right with God. That's a man thing. Women aren't really like that. They value different things. But they're still lower, evil, wrong women and correct women, upstanding. Just like they're bad men, good men. So we continue. This is sick. She continues to state and to clarify. See, it will be just for you, you see, to build the bridge better. Well, to make things clear, as if she's the real, to further, in essence, attempt to invalidate the actual merit of what I've said all along here. No, and not only that, but to further pose it, in essence, that I don't even have clarity. Guys, I don't even have the capacity to gain clarity. I can't gain it without her instructing me to tell me how life really goes. That's the real mommy sickness, because that's control. That's control. But it doesn't really work, because who's actually in the delusion? She is, because she believes it's working. She believes firstly, she believes she actually has a superior vantage point perceptively on anything here. Secondly, she believes that she can convince the one in my position. You need both of those to be true to have a successful line. She has none of those two, where you need both. You didn't even have a chance. Doesn't matter. Ego monster, remember? Make things clear. That's how you represent yourself. That I'll be the one to tell you things that will make it clear. As if to say, nothing that you've said actually makes it sufficiently clear. Not the way that my special letters will. Yeah, the ones that never came from before. That's not suspicious, right? Come on, give me a fucking break. Literally, because this is terrorizing the human soul from these idiots, these types of this conduct. We continue now. I think I did a fairly good job of giving an initial assessment of this. Only 45 minutes, wonderful. let's proceed, because I wrote back to her an initial email and a following PS. I'm going to read through it. Let's see. This is how I feel. Please behold it. Check it out. This should be clear to everyone, including the mother who will be eventually seeing this, and furthermore, the everybody else who may be possibly involved, who really is almost nobody, and there may be one witness who's looking in at this stuff right now, but this is not enough, and someday I hope that somebody just clicks link and hyperlink and send somewhere, and like 10 million people get to see all this, because that's the level we're at right now. I really mean it. I'm tired of this. People need to pay. People need to fucking learn through their own hardship. Like, they need to actually wake up and go to sleep with like, I am the one who's wrong. I am. Oh, they crystallize over and petrify to death. Fucking you are. That's it. And every moment you resist this truth from God, God rips you. It rips you again. There's no hope. Puh. We proceed. Now before we read this email, let's remember and refresh the whole context within this insanely blood-boiling inducing email is happening. All this stuff. All these hopes. We keep trying to, the man tries to plant the seed, because planting seed is the man's nature, remember? So we're actually the life givers. We try to create. But why did the Indians, with a lot of insight, cast the female entity as being the goddess of death? Because that's the inner nature. When you're lowered, it's a slant observation. God's here to rectify it. The Messianic age is a different programming than the old programming, than the Lilith-based, Indian death goddess-based paradigms of the old world. We're entering into a new age now where even women will be rectified. But in order to do this, women first have to be brought to be the worst. So you see today they're the worst, collectively, so that they can be transformed, purified, and now the coming Messianic age, finally, Moshiach will kill Lilith, and it will be done. We'll actually have real peace, because from the first day of Adam and Eve, we didn't have it. But now we will finally have it, really, for the first time ever. We begin. Let us do everything in our power in this world to make that happen. And really, these figurative speaking, so to speak, really represent very true fundamental truths and dynamics between what happens between human beings and what's really going on in this world. It's sick. We have to stop it. Nobody's fucking happy. And a lot of it's because men let it happen. So honestly, the rest of the videos need to honestly balance it out properly with yelling at men. You're all the ones who aren't doing it. Why? Because you're not killing them enough, so to speak. Not literally, you don't have to necessarily, but you get the point. But they'll never agree to that, because their job is to continue running out of what? Lilith programming. No, don't do that. That's bad. No, your job's not to believe them. Put them against the cliff's edge. Then they suddenly, oh, okay, I'll really be fine now. Now you win. Now life's in peace. You have to actually do the thing. Not only wish it should be so and talk about how it should be so all day. Women will never respect that. They'll walk all over you. That's the point. They're programmed this way. Why are you trying to hope for anything different? Only enforcement works. Nothing else. We've learned that lesson now. Wake up, humanity. Wake up! We continue. In short, I write to her. Oh, no, we continue now. Here's the response. It proceeds. And if anyone has a hard time beholding that one man, even in society, is being led to feel like this, well, my God, look at the circumstances, blame them. That's it. That's the only thing you should be looking at. Go address the circumstances that are the proximate causes up the line. Then you work down. That's the only proper way in order to unfold God's truth on this universe and manifest correctly. We proceed. Firstly, I write to her, did you finish watching all of the videos? Side note, very strange you didn't mention any of it. That's the most important thing that's been put, and it's only avoidance of this. So once again, like talking to a dummy, did you finish? You know, the only thing that's the big elephant in the room here that you're supposed to be, you don't follow instructions? Drop my banana on the floor. Good. We continue. Did you finish watching all the videos up until the most recent one posted, which is number 49-A4? Crazy numbering, I know. What the hell else are you going to do? That's how crazy people treat you. You have to get down to 49A4. The fuck? We continue. Which I proceed to add a note to her was from just 3 days ago, as of the time of this recording. We're at April 11th, Thursday right now, 2024. I proceed. Secondly, if you are looking to properly atone, to remind Barbara how this reality works, or she tries to offer you a new offer of corruption again. No. If you're looking to, and remember men and women too, but really more men, because women are supposed to be in, which means passive, which means, hey, even if someone does a little something on you, just let it go. But if you're a man, never let it go. Your job's to be super vigilant and super enforce oriented. Instead, the sickness is the inversion. It's become inverted in the last few decades, several decades, and the most within just the last decade or so, by like neurology instinct. A whole separate thing as to how it's being allowed and designed. But we continue. So it's opposite. Women are what men were, and that, even when you look at like videos online, any man and a woman like walking down the street holding hands and interacting, you see by instinct with clear eyes, you see it's like, wait, the woman looks like the dominant one, what the fuck, and the man looks like the passive, what the fuck, and you look, you see it over and over and over again, especially in America. Not quite as bad in other countries. That's why the other girls, they play more soccer in all the other countries. They have more women, they're more soccer oriented, yet you would think because of that, where the other men soccer teams, they crush American soccer teams, the male side. The female side, you think, well, it should be the same way, right? No. American women's soccer is so far ahead of other countries, but you think that's strange because they're more soccer. No, it's because they fucking flipped your whole shit. They actually gave you part man programming by how they're running. I'm not even gonna get that done, but it is powerful and crazy and amazing. They're all victims to it. Let's just get this shit over with. Continuing.